All right, I have a table full of curriculum here in front of me that I want to share with you guys today. This is curriculum for my children who are going into grade 9 and grade 10 for the 24 through 25 homeschool year. This is the second video in our curriculum picks or choices for the year. I already did my younger two who will be in grades 3 and 6, and coming after this video will be my last child who will be in grade 12 this year. All right, so let's start with math because both of these two children, Nathan and Tyler, are going to be using Shorman math this year. Nathan will be doing Algebra 1. Tyler, he's actually 3/4 of the way through Algebra 2 right now. He likes to do math through the summer, and so he's just continuing it right now. When he finishes that, he will just roll into Shorman pre-calculus, and he will continue to do that. Now, as for Nathan, I debated a bit between keeping him continuing with Saxon, going into Algebra 1, or making the switch to Shorman. And he said he would prefer to do it like off the line without the computer. But I want to have him try it because Shorman includes geometry in their Algebra 1 and 2, whereas Saxon does not. Technically, it would be like a third year of math in the Saxon way of doing things, and this will just condense that learning down to 2 years. So I'm gonna have him try it. If it really doesn't work, that's okay. I already have the Algebra 1 book here for Saxon, and I will just switch him over to that, but we're gonna try the online first. Now, for all the other subjects, I think it's going to be easier just because there are so many books here for me to actually just turn the camera around and talk you through as I show them to you. So let's do that. So I'm going to start off with the grade 9 curriculum, and then I'll show you grade 10 and then what we will be doing all together family school style. So if you've been around for a while, it's no surprise we're just continuing for language arts on with the good and the beautiful. Nathan will be doing high school level 1. I've had 2 children use this level already. I like to divide, this is just the first 6 units. I like to divide them into half. It makes it more manageable. So I just pulled the first one out to show you. I keep a tracker at the end. Easy peasy. He's going to be reading Patterns on the Wall, Up from Slavery, Into the Unknown, and Just David. And there are also grammar and geography cards that go along with this level. He also does word roots through the summer, so he's finishing up a level right now, and then next summer he will continue to work on the next level of that program. For history, he decided he wanted to do whirlwind history, which his brother did last year, but I'm gonna definitely slow it down and just have him do the first half of the course this year. Next year, he'll do the second half. That was the plan for my other son, but this is definitely going to be the plan. We won't be switching like I did with my other son. This is what he's gonna do. I have reviews of pretty much every curriculum if you're interested, but I'll give you a quick flip through of this. The majority of the books he's going to be using with this, because it's a literature-based course, are coming from our local library, as well as there's a few on Audible he'll be listening to. But I do have a few I just pulled off the shelf. So Gilgamesh, The Celts and All That, and Samurai Rising. He's also going to be using this history timeline notebook from School Nest. They've changed it a little bit since I bought one for my other son. So they're a little bit different now. It looks a little better. There's like the tabs on the side you can see. Yeah, it looks a little bit fuller. So he'll be adding entries, and I've already printed the pictures, so I won't forget this year, the pictures into that as well. So he's going to be doing that for his history. All right, so science is a little bit different. We're going to be doing this one here. This is Applied Engineering Studies of God's Design in Nature by Master Books. I believe this is the first time I've used a Master Books curriculum, and it's recommended for 7th to 9th grade, so he's right at the top there. But the reason I thought this would be a good fit for him is because he wants to go into engineering. And while this may be very basic, it kind of, when we looked at his year plan up until like graduation, he had time to take this course now, and then he's going to be doing, you know, physics and things like that later on. So this is the teacher book. This is the student schedule, and these are the sheets that they fill out. So it's worksheets like this, and it comes with these 3 books here. Made in Heaven, Man's Indiscriminate Stealing of God's Amazing Design. And this is a book in color that talks about how people have mimicked and harnessed kind of things God created and put them to use. This one is Men of Science, Men of God, and it's about different scientists. It's a black and white book. And then this one here, Discovery Design, Searching Out the Creator's Secrets. Similar to this one here, talks about just kind of different things that we have taken and used for our own wanting, I guess, or creativity, and it's a black and white book. So this is going to be interesting for me to try a different course and to see how he likes it. I did give him a few options, and this is what he chose, so we'll see how that goes. The last individual thing I have for him is French. He's currently working his way, this is the teacher book, but through this middle high school book. He started it last year, and he'll just continue on with this. All my kids do 2 pages in their workbook, as well as Duolingo, and then we do a rotation each week. Each child will have either music to listen to, a book to read to a sibling, a movie, like an episode to watch in French, a French game to play on the computer, or to watch Mr. Steve do a YouTube video. And that we rotate that through every week. So that is the last part, I believe, of my son for grade 9 for his individual work. All right, so moving on to my son Tyler for grade 10. Again, no surprise, he's just going to be continuing on with the high school levels of the good and the beautiful. He's going to be on level 2. Again, I just divide the units, so I have the first book with the first 6 units with the tracking at the back. And then I have a second book printed for him for when he is ready for the second half of the course. He's going to be reading these books here: Men of Iron, Harriet, the Moses of Her People, Sagebrush Surgeon, A Girl of the Limberlost, and the Christoph Van Schmidt collection. So that is going to be primarily his language arts. He also has been working through the word roots in the summertime. So he's just finishing up, I believe, level 3 this summer. So he will do level 4 next summer. Now this child wants to be an author. And so I was trying to find a way to kind of add in some creative writing for him to figure out what style of author he wants to be. And I came across this by Daily Skill Building. It's very short and simple. It's templates to brainstorm 12 different writing genres. So I haven't figured it out. I was thinking maybe 2 a month. I have to figure that out. I'm gonna have him do this book. It just goes through figuring out different styles: mystery, fable, fantasy, fan fiction, suspense, science fiction, Western, do-it-yourself self-help, biography, an essay, and then putting it all together. So I'm gonna have him do this, and at the end he will write a new story or a new whatever style he chooses for the year. So he's going to be doing this one as well, and that will be his language arts. Likewise, I didn't mention, but the Good and the Beautiful also uses, for the level 2, the grammar and geography cards. And I'm also going to have him do the Art of Argument and Introduction to the Informal Fallacies. This is by Classical Academic. This is another course that I have never used before. My oldest child did the Fallacy Detective, and it was okay, but I wanted to try something a little different this year. So we're going to give this curriculum a try. Now it does seem that this child has a bit of a heavier school year, and that's okay. He is more than prepared and able to handle it. but I'm hoping that this will be a good fit, and if it works, then I will be able to use this for future children as well. So I'll be sure to do a review of this at the end of the year, but he's going to be working through this. For history this year, he's going to be doing civics, and so I don't have the front page on here, but this is Canadian Civics, Purposeful, Informed, and Active Citizenship. My oldest child did this already. I was trying to find something a little different because honestly, it was not my absolute favorite, but I really couldn't find anything that was up to date. And so he's going to go ahead and do this. This will be his history. It's set up a little bit differently. Again, you can go look at the review I did of it last time, but it's done partially on the computer and partially in this book here. So he will be doing that for history. And then for science, he's going to be trying Guest Hollow's High School Chemistry in the Kitchen course. He is not, well, he's interested in being an author. He's not very big in the sciences, and he just wasn't really sure what he wanted to do. He has always had a love of cooking though, and so I thought this might be interesting for him, and he said he would go ahead and try it. This is the teacher book here. This is the schedule here. It's a literature-based chemistry, so there's a lot of books, and it's also it's a no math one, which is interesting because he likes math, but he did not want to have to use like a lot of math in his science. So this is what he's going to be doing, and this is a new course for us as well. A lot of his books again will come from the library and some from Audible, but I do have a number of them here. This is Carbon Chemistry. Dr. Joe and What You Didn't Know. What Einstein Told His Cook. Napoleon's Buttons, 17 Molecules That Changed History. Taste, Surprising Stories About Science and Why Food Tastes Good. And What Einstein Kept Under His Hat, Secrets of Science in the Kitchen. With this course, there is a number of hands-on cooking projects, like sprouting mushrooms, learning how to make cheese, as well as other recipes. I think he's just really going to enjoy this, so that's going to be his science for the year. And finally, he is still working through this French book here. He's not going to be doing this whole book because it's a bunch of subjects in one, but he's going to finish off the grammar part, and then he will move on to another book that I will have to choose for him at that time. But that's the last of his individual stuff. Last but not least are our group subjects. So these are subjects that all 5 of my children do with me. We do them all together, so it's quite the age range and grade gap. This year from grade 3 all the way to grade 12. We're going to be doing The Great World Adventure. We like these units. Understanding Africa this year for our geography. This is a very, very thick unit. Like, it's almost twice the size of most other units. So my plan is to see how far we get through this in the year. And then if there's time, we'll move on to the China and North Korea unit. This is kind of more of a typical size, but we're not sure, or I'm not sure exactly how long it'll take us to get through the Africa one. So we'll see. But that's our plan for geography. We really like these because they have a lot of videos that go with them and a lot of modern issues as well as the historical part of them. So we love these units. We're going to be continuing on with our Farm Anatomy by Julia Rothman. We are about halfway through the book, not quite. I think this will take us at least another year plus. And the kids use these from the daily skill building to go along with it. They have notes and drawings they need to do in there. So they will both be doing their own books with that. And then finally, our read-alouds. Most of our read-alouds are based upon the history or science of the youngest children. However, I do try and find some books that are more geared towards older children. and we add some historical or some like classic or fun ones in as well. So right now the pile I'm going to show you is not all of the books. We have a few audio books, a few books from the library coming, and we still have a few gaps I'm going to fill in when we get to it. But we're definitely going to read Mammals of Small Pond, African Town, the Burgess Animal Book for Children, Black Beauty, Prairie Dog Town, Red Sails to Capri, Tolliver's Secret, Trouble's Daughter, the story of Susanna Hutchinson, Indian captive, The Dark Frigate, The Cabin Faced West, and then I have on my schedule, we'll do one of these two, I'm not sure which one yet, Betsy and the Emperor, or The Other Side of the Wall, or maybe we'll end up doing both of them. And finally, right before summer, we're going to do the third book in the Little House on the Prairie series. We've done the other two, so it's time to do the third one, and I thought this would be perfect right before summer. A fun, kind of lighthearted, outdoorsy type book. All right, if you're still with me, we've made it through all of that curriculum, and that is what my children will be doing this year. My child in 9th grade will be doing cadets, guitar lessons, and youth group once a week. Child in grade 10 will be doing youth group once a week, and he's thinking about maybe another activity and possibly getting a part-time job later on in the school year. So I think that's everything. I always say that, and sometimes I miss things, but hopefully that's everything. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you want to see what my son in grade 12 will be using, check back for the next video. Otherwise, I hope this finds you having a great day. Take care.